visiting Southeastern Business Solutions. My name is Dorothy Davis. This is our next entertainment recap. As promised, in our last recap, I have come back with more music for the eyes and the tooltip. The last couple of entertainment recaps I put out, I put 4 or 5 videos with them. They were geared toward events and stuff like that. But those took a while because you do one music video. This is a performance video without all the other assets and angles. It takes about a week working at it part-time. So, so it would, after you put about 4 weeks into 4 different videos, and then you put your narration, you take a week for your narrations, and then a week for all that placement, and then you have the export and the upload and the distribution. So it takes about a month and a half to get those out, and I don't like taking that long to get more content out there. I like to keep it going, right? So I have changed the format a little bit. I'm going to do one music video for each recap, and each recap will come with a tooltip. It might be about the software I'm currently using for the video editing. It might be about another software that I'm using for more on the business side of things. So, but you know, hey, it's good. I'm enjoying putting it together. And sometimes it will come with invites. This week, I caught this video about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I called a couple more since then. And initially, at the time, I was going to put the 3 together. So I started this one, and then when I got the next one, I started that one, got the opens going on both of them, and I got to realize, I keep starting them. So I said, well, we'll go ahead and finish it, because the reason I wanted to go back and catch this one, these guys, I've been following them for a while, and y'all, they have grown so much. They have. Over the last couple of years, their stage presence has just changed and developed so much. Their music, their sound, and I think y'all will really enjoy them. Many of you have, as you'll see in the video. We had quite the crowd when they were there, and I certainly hope to see that kind of crowd, or even better, when I get there this time. But with that said, let's go ahead and take care of that tooltip I promised. Okay. So I'm going to change my cameras up here a little bit so that you can see a little bit more about what I got going on. All right. So on one side, you will see monitor, which is, I believe it's the one that's sitting in front of me right now. You should be seeing a band and with the rafters over the top. All right. And then on the other monitor, you should be seeing the project itself. This is all the files and the assets and the properties, everything that's in there. But you'll notice that there's a column there that has blue and white eyes on them. The 2 white eyes will be the 2 tracks we're focusing on. The blue ones are completed tracks. The music video is already completed. For this tooltip, I figured I would show you something that I did in this video, a share tooltip I used in this video. So that's what we're going to focus on today. The 2 white ones that are not clicked blue are the 2 that we'll be working with, and those are the only 2 that you'll be able to see at this point during this tutorial. You'll see the rest of them when the music video starts. So what you're seeing right now is the original footage as it came off the phone. There's been no editing. Any lighting that you see there is the natural lighting in the environment as it was as I stood there recording. Okay, this is what the camera called raw. All right, raw being nothing has been done with this video footage at all. What I want to do is change that. I want to change the lighting. I want to manipulate the lighting, and I want to put my own strobes in there. I want it to move to the music. I want it to make my eyes dance to the beat. Okay, I want to feel the music right here. And because usually if I'm somewhere, and if you've been around when I'm out there recording, a lot of times if I'm not recording, I'm sitting there with my eyes closed and I'm going like this. It's because I've already got a video going on in my head with that music. You know what I'm saying? I've got it. Yeah, I'm already there, and so sometimes I come off as standoffish because of that, and I don't mean to be. I just really get into music, and sometimes, if I'm sitting there having a drink and I got my eyes closed listening to the music, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so now that our cameras have changed, you'll notice that in front of me there's a monitor. It shows the band on the stage. What you see there is raw footage. What I mean by raw footage, that means it is what it is. There's been no changes. There's no effects, no editing. It is what it was when it come off the phone. Okay, so all that's environmentally controlled right there. Nothing to do with digital at all. I want to change that. I want to be able to add lighting to this video that has colors and be able to change those colors, move those colors, and have those colors move and dance to the beat so they can make your eyes move and dance to the beat. Okay? So today, that is what we're going to focus on. So that is our original file. See, it has its full capacity and it's set at normal. It's the raw file, no changes. Now, right below that, in the second one that's white, and there's no file there, so we're going to drag a screen there. We can use any color, but I typically use the green, but you can use white, black, blue. It just depends on what kind of effects you're wanting to give it. And if you only have one screen, well, you can change that to whatever color you want it to. Just drop a white one on there and change it. But keep in mind, if you drop a white one and you change the color, the hue and saturation is going to be different than that of a black screen that you drop and change the color to. So you might want to take that into account when you're doing your dropping. All right, so let's pull over that, and I'm going to widen out that green screen just a little bit so that we'll have some room to work with some keyframes, and I can show you how to create movement. You want to base your keyframes around the beat, so you'll be looking at your audio down here quite a bit. I won't focus on that. I'm going to show you how to put it in there and how to make it move, because every audio is going to be different. But if you want to see, kind of get a little close-in view on it, when you zoom in, you can see beats and rises and falls to the noise. And you can use that to help guide your graphics and your keyframes a little bit. Remember that if you have your settings set at 30 keyframes per second, that's 30 actual PNG images per second that a video goes through. Every second of footage, that's 30 PNG frames. That means that those are 30 frames that blend together, and they just want, it's, I don't know how to explain it to you, but it's kind of like when you take a book, you've seen the old school comics when they draw an old picture over and over and over again, you flip through the pages, and it creates a moving cartoon. It's kind of like that, but it's in the digital world and not in a book. For those of you that don't understand what I mean when I say keyframes. Keyframe is kind of like a piece of paper in a book, in a picture book, a motion picture book, that each page would represent keyframe. If you look at it like that, it kind of makes sense. But so the reason I say that is because these keyframes are actually a point in time in your video. They are a point in time in your video, and they're important. So when you're using these beats, keep that in mind. Right, so we have that there. We have our green screen highlighted. And now what we want to do is, let's see, you can't see the green screen, right? We loaded it, but you can't see it. If you look at the monitor, the one with the stage on it, that's what we'll call that screen's the monitor. The other one with the blocks on it that I keep going back to, we'll call the project. So if you look at the project, and then you see I've loaded the green screen there, but when you look at the monitor, you can't see it. If I click on the blue eye beside the original footage that you're looking at in the monitor, you can see that the green screen is indeed there. So if I click on that eye again and make it white again and it shows back up, here's how to fix that. When you click on it, notice that below that there should be an effects controls panel. And in that effects controls panel, you have some options. Usually the very first one is your motion and the second one is your opacity. In this case, in this particular tooltip, we're going to be working with the opacity one, and we're going to be working with the blending mode. And we want to see the different effects that these blending modes have with that green screen behind it. Then we're going to put color to it and see it again. And then once we change that color and change and add some keyframes to it, you'll actually see it in motion. All right, so let's start right here. And I'm going to click on that, and we're going to, right now we're viewing in normal. If you're looking at the project panel, we're viewing in normal. Now I'm going to click on, let's just start with multiply. And then we're going to look back at the monitor and see what effect it had on it. Okay, so if we click on multiply, let's see what happens. It changed it to green and black. So that's the look that you would be working with there. And I know it's not saying much, but once you start putting color to that green and moving that color around, it's going to say a whole lot. So, but you kind of want to get a feel for what you're working with. So sometimes as you go along, you want to work with your blending modes, and sometimes you can combine those blending modes to get the desired effect with layers. But in this case, we're just going to work with this one layer to show you how the feature of how to add lighting and manipulate that lighting and move it around. We could take it another step further, but that might be a good one video that comes out. Let's see. Let's change it to color burn. There it does with color burn. Linear. Just trying. Yep, there you go. Dodge. Soft light doesn't show much. Hard light gives it kind of a grunge almost. Vivid. There you go. And light. Our mix. And that's grungy artistic feel, isn't it? Difference. All right. So let's leave it on luminosity for giggles. And all right, and let's go back to our green screen. We'll go back to our project panel, and we're going to click on the green screen, and then we're going to go to our effects panel, not the effects control. That's where you control the effects that you drop in. We want to be able to drop in an effect, and we're looking for a gradient effect. And the one if you cannot find your effects, mine happens to be right here. This is what it looks like. If you can't find the effects panel, go to your Windows menu and then scroll down until you see effects. If you already see a check mark there, then it's already open somewhere. Keep looking. But if you don't see a check mark there, click on it and then look for it. Once you have it open, go to the video effects, generate for color gradient, or you can simply type in GRAD and anything with gradient pulls up. I'm going to pull the fourth color on there. That's going to allow me to have up to 4 colors on a keyframe in any position at any time. And I can change those colors as I go along. So you see what happened when we dropped it on that, right? So I'm going to disable it for a second. This is what it looked like beforehand. After I dropped it, that's what it looks like. Now, I were to click over here on the project panel, click on the name of that effect, 4 color gradient, you'll notice that there pops up 4 little buttons. Right here, there's one right here, and right here. Those are called your points. Point 1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. The color, and then you have your color. So 0.1 is going to be our yellow, 0.2 is our green, pink is 3, and 4 is blue. We can click on those buttons and move them around wherever we want to on the screen, right? Now, so let's go ahead and lock in. Now that we have color on there, we're going to start creating some frames, okay? We're on the project panel, and I'm going to click on, say, where I want these points at right now to be there. And let's say that I want that color to start off where it's at. And I want it to stay that way until it gets heat. Wrong ones, excuse me. Right, so we're going to go back and click the color ones right here. Okay, so we got color one. Our colors are marked here, and we want it to stay those colors until it gets here. So we're going to mark that keyframe. Say, okay, stay this color until you reach this point. All right, now we want those points to be here, but we don't want, by the time it reaches here, we want those to be in a different position. So we're going to move our insertion point, say, right here. I'm not matching it up to any beat right now, okay? I'm just kind of putting a little pattern there. You go back and match your beat once you have your pattern down, and then you look for that beat and where you want that pattern to be at when that beat hits. And that's how you place it. That's going to be different for every audio. Let's see. So I'm going to, by the time it gets here, I want these to be moved to another location. So I'm going to click on these 4-point gradients again so that my buttons appear on the monitor up there. And then let's say I want to move my yellow to where the pink's at, and I want the pink to where the blue's at, and I want the blue to where the green's at, and I want to move the green to where yellow was at. We're just going to kind of rotate it like that, something simple. And then let's say that by the time it gets here, though, we want those colors changed. And let's say we want our yellow to become orange. Right? And let's say we want our green to become right here. Okay? And then we want our pink to become, oh, let's see. Like that. We want our pink to become red. And let's let our blue become, what y'all say, purple. All right. So now let's move it one more time. And let's say we're going to let it move to here. And we're going to move the red where the purple is, and the purple to where the light blue is, and the light blue to where the orange is, and orange to where the red. Okay. Now let's see what happens on the monitor. Okay. I'm hit play on camera. it has swirls like that. And it doesn't have to be in that simple format. That's just something I did to kind of show you the movement and how you can change the colors and control the way it looks. And it moves, and it'll work with and change the lighting, the way the lighting like gives it a green hue, but it's changed the hues of the lights from the environment changed along with it. So they kind of work well together. And if you choose the right but there is no right or wrong with it when it comes to art, because if you're the one that's designing the video and you've got the vision in your head and you're trying to put it out there, you play with it until it gets to what you're looking for, and or describe what you're wanting to the person who's doing it for you, and then when their vision matches your vision, they can make that happen for you. So that concludes the tutorial on for today's cool tip. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to do that, and it goes a long way toward keeping my content rolling. I hope you enjoy this video. It does come with an invite. This band has done a lot of growing in the last 2 years. I'm telling you, their stage presence has had a lot of growth. I've seen a lot of growth there. Hope you enjoy it. Next.
This is a spiritual experience.